Hi guys, how you all doing? Welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're in the main kitchen and we're going to make fruit scones, tea scones. Now this is a very simple recipe to do, very easy actually, and it starts with some flour. So let's just crack on and make our tea scones, our fruit scones. Right guys, to our bowl, what we're going to do, we're going to add 500 grams of self-raising flour. Now we are going to give it a little bit of a sieving, just to make it a little bit lighter. Quick run through there. Now fruit scones guys are so simple to make actually. They really are, and they're delicious. Now what I have done guys, I've actually soaked my fruit for about 10 minutes in boiling water, just to plump it up a little bit, you know. So that's our flour sifted. Your little stir around, and then we'll add our salt and sugar and baking powder. Now guys, if you don't know how to make self-raising flour or self-rising flour, I have a link on the site which makes perfect self-raising flour every time. That's what this is. Okay, and to that we're going to add a heaped teaspoon of baking powder. So get that in there. I'm going to bob in a pinch of salt. Because you need a little bit of salt cutting through when we're baking. And I'm going to put in some sugar. And that's it. Let's just give that a little stir through. Very easy. We've got an egg, give it a little bit of beating. Now what we want to do, we want to take about 110 grams of butter and we want to lightly ruffle it into our flour, like little breadcrumbs. Now if you have a food processor, this is really easy. You know, if you don't have a food processor on hand, we're going to do it by hand. So that's 100 grams. So we have 100 grams there. Just open this pack up here. You know, these come in 100 grams, so we put about that much in. That's about 10 grams. Then all we're going to do guys, we're going to get our hands in there and we're going to lightly bring it into breadcrumbs, okay? So nice and steady. We don't want to overwork it at any stage, you know. We've got to try and keep this light. So if you can sort of mix and lift at the same time. Light hands make light dough. Well, so they say. Now we're looking for a little breadcrumb consistency. Now, you know, it's easy enough. Now with a food processor, you know, you just put it in and whiz it up and it's finished, you know. But you know, this doesn't take long at all. You know, this is very easy to do. Just look at that. That is so simple. Very easy. Okay, very easy that guys. Just scrape some of this flour off here, look. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add our beaten egg. Get our beaten egg in there. Now you could just chuck the whole egg in, you know, but by the time you've done that, you know, you've got to break it all up. You're going to handle the dough more. In with our milk. Now what we need to do guys, we need to bring this together nice and gently, okay? So bring this together nice and gently before getting our hands in. And then we're not going to get too sticky because this is a wet mixture to start off with, you know. So just bring that in there like that. Now what you can do, guys, you can add a little bit of vanilla extract. Now you don't go bananas with this. We don't want it to taste like a cake. And that'll give that little bit of a flavour through there. So it's only a tiny bit. And then you can put in your fruit. So get your fruit in there. And then what we need to do is we need to bring this all together. So nice and steady. Now we don't want to overwork it, but we need to bring it together. And the easiest way to do this is to bring it together in the bowl first. You know, no point splattering it all over the side yet. Because we're not really trying to knead this in any way. All we're trying to do is bring it together nice and gently. And that's it, guys. How easy is that? And then what we're going to do, we're going to flour our surface and turn it out. Not much, just a little bit. You know, you don't want to go too bananas with the flour. We'll take our dough out of there. Now all we're going to do is shape it round just a little bit. Now we don't want to overwork this dough, guys, you know, so this is really steady. You know, I've seen people put the dough in the fridge and all sorts of stuff. You know, you don't need to do that. So there we are, guys. There's our dough. And then all we need to do is take a little bit on our rolling pin and we need to bring it out a little bit. We're not looking to actually roll it too thin. You know, we want about that much. Can you see with my thumb? And then we'll give us a nice risen scone. Okay, and then all we're going to do is take our cutter. Now you can use a fluted cutter like this, or you could use a plain cutter, or use a glass, use anything. And all we're going to do is cut our scones. Now this is a 2-inch cookie cutter. Now if it comes out of there, what you can do is put it straight onto a baking tray. Now this is not coming out, so we're just going to cut it like that and then we'll lift the dough. So nice and steady, all the way around. Get what you can. Now the idea is to try and get as many scones as possible in the first cut, because what happens is the more times you work the dough, they don't rise as much. So there's our scones cut. So let's just remove this and then we'll put our scones on a baking tray. So there's our scone, and all we're going to do is put it straight onto a lined baking sheet. With scones, you know, scones rise up more than they rise out. So you can put them fairly close together, you know. Oh, that's a flat one. Okay, there's some scones on a tray. We have a little bit of mix left. Now what you don't do, guys, you don't overmix this. So just nice and steady, just bring it together. Now what will happen probably with your scones this time round, can you see all the lines in there, you know? Now if you squashed it all and rolled it too tight, the scones are not going to rise. But what will happen with this, it will probably rise and crack. But that doesn't matter, you know, those rustic scones look fantastic. So there we go. Now roll it to about the same again. Can you see the lines in there, guys? This will probably crack, but not to worry. So again, same procedure. And that gives us 4 more there, but that's a little thin one. Probably get 2 more out of that. Right guys, and then what I'm going to do, now you can brush these with beaten egg. Now if you brush them with a beaten egg, you get a really nice golden glaze. But if you brush them with a little bit of milk on top, you'll get a nice lighter glaze. So we'll brush these with a little bit of milk, just for that little bit of, and this is ordinary milk guys as well, there's nothing else in here. So a little bit of milk on there. Or you could actually do milk and egg mixed. You know, that's up to you guys. So a little bit of milk on there. We're going to put our scones in a preheated oven at 180 degrees for about 15 minutes. Now my oven's just going to preheat. Okay guys, and all we need to do is put our scones in the oven for about 15 minutes. Right, there we are guys. All we need to do now is get our scones out of the oven. There we are guys, scones made, and they smell superb, absolutely superb. Right, we need to get them out of the oven, and then we're going to transfer them to a wire rack for about 15 minutes to cool down. So there's our wire rack, and then all we're going to do is take our scone. Look at that, lovely light brown all round. A bit warm these. So take them off there, and what we're going to do is let them cool. Now don't try this at home, okay? I've been handling these hot things for a long time. Oh, spare current there, look. I'll have that. Wow, that's hot. Okay guys, now in my opinion the best way to eat scones is when they're warm. Now I'm not going to let these sit for 15, well I am going to let these sit for 15 minutes, but you know, I'm going to have one. It's called the have one for them who cooked it. So take your scone. Now you can pull it apart, but you're going to break it up all over. So just get a knife into your scone, about halfway, pull it apart, and you've got this lovely scone. So a good way for this guys is actually put some butter on and jam. Now it depends how you like it. Get your fresh butter on there, just a bit or a little bit, And then you can put your jam on the top. A little bit of jam on there. Oh, sandwich it all together. You've got that lovely buttery scone. And then give it a bite. Oh, man, God, that is fantastic. Guys, if you like what we're doing, don't forget, like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and we'll catch you in the next video. Mm.